GG Jackson has come on in a big way for the Grizzlies recently, and a big reason for that is his stellar off-ball play. He's slot really nicely into the Grizzlies offense as a closeout attacker and a second side player. Great decisive attack here. The defender opens up his hips too early, giving a clear lane baseline, and we see GG go in for the big dunk. One of the big themes of this is just how confident he looks. And I want to remind people that GG Jackson is 19. He turned 19 in December. He's the youngest player in the league, I'm pretty sure, and he definitely doesn't look it. At least a lot of the time he hasn't. He hasn't played that much, but he's had a couple really impressive games, like this one against the Warriors, where this is not a 19-year-old 6'8" player move. Pump fake to get Podziemski off the floor. I guess he doesn't actually pump fakes there. He just looks at the rim, quick attack baseline, hops back towards the middle, little ball fake, and he's patient getting to his spot and hitting that little pull-up mid-range jumper. The form looks really pure. GG here creating some separation as well. He's a pretty solid handler for a guy his size, as crosses back over on Io. Not so explosive or anything, which we'll talk about more, but able to get downhill, draw a foul, work on the perimeter despite being a very large player. And his cutting has really flashed. He's great as a cutter. He's great as a roller. Kind of slips into the middle here, drops it down to Vince Williams. The technique and the accuracy of the passes and the stuff isn't perfect, right? You can see the rawness, but you can also see how smart GG is and how well he possesses, how well he reads and processes the floor. Space immediately upon securing the ball, seeks out, hits Vince Williams on the cut. Really solid, impressive play for, again, someone of his age. Just a really solid cutter already. Times his attacks really well, and I respect an attempt like that, but notices that Nickeil Alexander-Walker is kind of shading more towards Gilliard, so he cuts, and Zaire is able to find him, who's having a fun year as well. I'm definitely still a believer in Zaire's game. More work for GG as a roller here. I've liked his usage overall in Memphis. One of the big issues at South Carolina was just like they were an absolute dog shit team and forced GG, like this 18-year-old, to be their primary creator, and there were struggles, but playing in an actual NBA team, even though it's like this hospital Grizzlies team, he is getting to roll to the basket, finish through contact, hold the ball through contact. And I said this in a video I did of him, honestly, on this channel like a while ago, but I always liked his big man skills. He's a pretty skilled roll man already, which I like. He's been good in these couple games punishing switching coverages like this, where he can use his mobility and his athleticism to get behind a defense that wants to pass off this pick and roll. Shout out to Zaire again for making a pass, and he's able to finish. Very like nice acrobatics in the air, can hang and can kind of contort his body just a little bit, or just enough in these situations to end up scoring and making the plays that he needs to make. One more play as the roller where he opens up, finishes strong over quickly. Just very impressive, right? This time they go for another kind of like late peel-ish switch. Not really peel switch, just like a later switch, but Zaire, great pocket pass. I'm loving the chemistry between these two as well. This is a fun little duo brewing in Memphis as well. And the other big thing is the shooting, which is probably unsustainably good right now, right? GG is shooting 50% from three, which is pretty remarkable, but the volume is good. He's shooting 6.5 attempts per 75, 70th percentile. Obviously, they're all assisted, and they're basically just open catch and shoots, but as I talked about before, confidence, right? GG Jackson, multiple feet behind the line with a defender closing out hard, no matter. He's just going to fire and shoot, and he has been audacious taking these shots from well beyond the line, from the hash mark and into transition. Like, this is a confident basketball player, someone who believes in his ability, to make shots. And this is what we saw in college, right? He had great indicators in terms of shot versatility, and especially like he took a lot of threes. The volume was good, and it seems like that is playing out early in his career. Again, just a ridiculously deep spot up there. Not an ounce of hesitation. Catch, square, his right foot to the basket, fire, shoot. Again, he's still mostly a spot up catch and shoot guy, but he's doing it really, really well. As love him coming off of a dribble handoff there. And yeah, at the moment, at least with how he's shooting right now, he's probably not someone you want to be going under this easily when he's juking into dribble handoffs at the hash mark, at the United Center logo. Absolutely splashing. And this shooting opens up everything for the rest of his game, right? It opens up the off-ball game. GG with the no-dip three. I absolutely love this here. Not bringing the ball down at all. Just catch and fire. It's advanced off-ball spot-up shooting stuff, which to this level, I'm not sure I expected. And there have been some creation flashes. I was never so high on GG's like creation upside, but there's been some good stuff, as I mentioned a little bit earlier with his handle. Love how he gets Isaiah Jackson off the floor here with a little heavy dribble. Again, not the cleanest, not the tightest, but he has the movement skills and just the playmaking instinct to make this kind of stuff work, which again, he does not need to be even close to a finished product but he's got moves like this where he can hit a little sidestep, pull up jumper. Also, I absolutely love any player with the multicolored shoes. That's just the sickest thing to me. J-Dub also does it. It's just something you do if you've got moxie, if you've got it. GG makes some ridiculous plays, man. He's really good in early offense, semi-transition, Euro step at the last second without telegraphing, hand in his face. His head is in Anthony Black's bicep, and he throws the ball out to Zaire, who catches it and is able to knock down that three. That's good playmaking instinct stuff. And I don't mean to beat the dead horse, but for a recently 19-year-old, more early offense, he definitely likes to do moves. He likes to go crossover, Euro step, and some of it might be a little superfluous at this point, but isolated versus a really good defensive big, and Isaiah Hartenstein able to slow down, hit that little floater off balance. Maybe he's definitely can work on that kind of floatery stuff. Pull up at the end of the shot clock. This might be the smoothest jumper he's taken all season, where GG's run off the line, smoothly 1-2s into a pull up at the end of the shot clock. It looks clean. It looks smooth. The eye test in terms of his shot is looking really nice. And even in situations where he has to isolate against Josh Hart, again, he's kind of in the mode where he's hitting everything he throws up, but this is really good. Triple threat. Hard jab to make him back up because GG is shooting well enough to where you should respect him. Gets him long strides, get right by him, and he's able to float with great touch. The stride length is really impressive. He gets low, he generates leverage, and Josh Hart, obviously a great defender. Yet GG didn't have so much trouble going right around him. But I definitely have concerns, and finishing is one of my main concerns, and just with kind of how unexplosive he is, GG plays kind of small at times. He's very much a perimeter guy, even though he has big skills, as we talked about. He can't get the ball past or through Seth Curry at all. He has moments where he's not playing very explosive. His strength doesn't look very good. Obviously, that's not a huge concern. He's so young, but struggling to separate from Tyler Hero, and just you can see that he doesn't get a ton of lift at the rim on his finishes. I don't think he's finishing not very well, right? Yeah. 51% of the rim, that is not good. He doesn't even have enough attempts yet to qualify for percentiles. But as I mentioned, even when he does make good moves, get Hero in jail, this is not that open of a shot. He's floating out of bounds. Hero's still right in his face with his offhand, and it's just a tough shot, and it's hard to live on those being the type of shots that you can generate for yourself. And it kind of tends to raise the ceiling. And this is kind of what I talked about of him doing kind of too many moves. This is probably a travel, right? And at times he just does not look explosive enough. He's not getting enough force off the ground. And it doesn't look like it takes very much for a guy like Jalen Smith, who's not the most amazing defender in the world, to block that shot. But these aren't huge concerns. I mean, they kind of are for his ultimate ceiling. But he's playing really well offensively, all things considered. And the defense, has been up and down as you'd expect, but There's been great moments, good effort. I've liked his willingness to play as a low man and a shot blocker. Great timing on this rotation here. Stepping over, blocking at the apex. And then I love how he just like head down sprints to the other end. And that's the kind of energy and effort that you hope a young guy like Gigi Jackson is able to bring. Gets a nice block there on Steph Curry. And overall, the early returns on Gigi have to be really positive, right? He dominated in the G League scoring wise, and he's had some really impressive scoring games in the NBA. And I think ultimately these minutes on like the hospital Grizzlies are going to be really good for him in the long run. Because normally on like the Grizzlies with Ja and with Bane and all these guys, he wouldn't be getting these kind of touches. He wouldn't be getting these kind of reps. And this is going to be invaluable experience. Like getting cooked by all these legit NBA players playing real regular season minutes is going to really help him in the long run. And the fact that he's able to hold up so well as an off-ball player, as a cutter, as a shooter, we'll see how the shooting, right? Like you know, he's not going to shoot 55% from three, whatever. We'll see how that levels out. But early returns, the feel looks decent as well. Good off-ball player, really good mobility for a guy that size. Just a very exciting young player, and Memphis got themselves a good one. He went way too low in his draft.